Rick and Morty is definitely one of the most creative and insane multiverses of our time, raising and mocking many topical issues. The first episode of the 8th season was no exception, featuring a huge number of references and small details through which the theme of the Matrix runs as a common thread. In this video, we will analyze all the Easter eggs from the opening episode and also discuss where the overall plot of the franchise will go. Get comfortable, because it will be interesting as always. It is rumored that the 8th season will be noticeably different from the previous one. Critics agree that the 8th season marks a return to the roots and to the familiar storylines of plot development and character dynamics. It is hard to disagree with them so far, as the first episode gives hope for this. Speaking in general, the episode is dedicated to the issues of wired and wireless charging, the Matrix, and memories of past lives. In this episode, one can notice a special symbolism that runs throughout the entire episode. For example, the power supply from the charger appears as an ornament on Summer. Also, the buildings standing on a socket with lines stretching into the sky symbolize the goal of her company to provide the world with free wireless charging. Even the number of the news channel hints at the binary counting system. The episode also features parodies of covers from popular glossy magazines. For instance, in The Office, there are references to Rolling Stones and New Yorker magazines, and when Beth and Summer go to the beauty salon, Beth reads a magazine called Rogue, which is a reference to Vogue magazine. The country where Morty and Summer are located is originally called Chargeria, derived from the English word charge, meaning to charge. Let's start with the first scenes. Here we see people protesting against wireless charging. There are signs saying, "God created charging," "the outlet should be on the wall," and so on. Here we can draw a parallel with real life, where there are thousands of people who do not support technological progress. In the scene when Summer comes to Morty, she says that in reality it is 9 p.m. This makes us understand that the decades spent here are in fact only a few hours of real time. Now let's remember Christopher Nolan's Inception, when by falling asleep you can live a whole life, although in the real world only a couple of hours will pass. The launch of the Summer wireless charging program distorts reality, which reminds us of The Matrix. For 8 seasons, the series made fun of all sorts of sci-fi films. Let me list them. Let's start with the face huggers from Alien. Then we'll remember how the heroes were thrown into a post-apocalyptic wasteland in the style of Mad Max. There was even a parody of Back to the Future. However, the franchise has not yet encroached on the sacred in the world of sci-fi films until recently. Interestingly, the heroes retained their memories and skills about their lives. Summer embarked on rising above school dramas and getting closer to her mother, and Morty uses his new experience to build an armored car. By the way, you can discern in it the features of racing armored cars from the movie Death Race. Matrix Morty has tattoos of a chess knight and an electrical cord with the words "Charge" written on it, while his cellmate's tattoo of a skull with the letters C and AA stands for the type of battery. In short, there are a great many references to chargers in this episode. Shots of Osama bin Charger inspire firefighters to join the Chargerian army. There is naturally a hidden political message in this story arc. After the tragic events of September 11th, 2001, the U.S. Army declared war on global terrorism. But perhaps the most infamous is their multi-year operation in Iraq, which resulted in many casualties on the part of all parties involved. We don't want to get into politics, but we will note that there are various rumors about whether the military campaign was really justified. So at the end of the first episode, it turns out that the war in which Morty participated and in which he lost his best friends was organized by Summer. So you don't even have to dig deep to recognize this analogy about the global conspiracy of those in power. There is also a reference to Edge of Tomorrow, with Tom Cruise in the episode only without time travel. This becomes clear when Morty realizes that he cannot die while in the simulation. Then he fights his way through an army of enemies alone to kill their leader. An interesting moment was in one of the shots when Morty sees his dead friend named 8. He lifts his head, like a ball with predictions, which has an infinity symbol on it. Surely you also notice that when Beth chases Summer to erase her memory and get her daughter back, she loses the eraser, which is left lying in the middle of the street. We will not be surprised if this event appears again in the future. All in all, the 8th season has had a great start. After Roiland left, the team of creators managed to put the series on the right path and preserve the spirit of the original. And while we've only watched one episode, critics have been shown exactly half of the season based on which they built their reviews. And they're intriguing us by saying that as the episodes come out, there will be a lot of interesting things and a little or a lot of crazy stuff. After Rick's life's work that influenced the entire course of the plot, that is, the murder of Rick Prime, who deprived him of his wife and child, our beloved old grandfather will have a new enemy. We were also hinted that the creators have grandiose plans for Evil Morty, so we're looking forward to the premiere of the next episodes. In the meantime, be sure to write in the comments your impressions of the first episode and what other interesting references you noticed. Thank you all for watching, and see you soon on our channel.